Hi, I'm Chris Whiteman, and thanks for joining me here on my YouTube channel for another jazz guitar lesson. Today we're going to look at another Barney Kessel introduction, this time from the Lester Young recording with the Oscar Peterson Trio, and the song is Back Home in Indiana, an old jazz standard written in 1917. The changes to this tune were then repurposed for Charlie Parker's famous bebop head Donna Lee. So if you know Donna Lee, then you know the changes to Back Home in Indiana. So playing an introduction is a skill set that's expected of a guitarist. If I'm playing in a small group or even with just one other person, a singer or an instrumentalist, it's very common for them to ask me to set the tune up. So on a gig, they may call the tune, give me the tempo and the key, and say, set it up. So really what I have to do is establish the key center for them and make it very apparent where the top is so that they know where to come in. And what Barney does here, in this example, is a very common approach. He plays the last 8 bars of the form. So we have a 32 bar form, and he just outlines the harmony of the last 8 bars, and it works perfect because the last 8 bars of the tune are going to lead you back to the top. So it's a pretty safe bet that if someone asks you to play an intro and it's a 32 bar form and you play the last 8 bars, it's a pretty safe bet that it's going to work good. And you can do this at a very basic level. So we could play 4 to the bar with shell voicings, something like this. If we were playing Back Home in Indiana. Right, that would work. Or we can get more sophisticated, and Barney Kessel playing much more sophisticated here. And he's combining a lot of elements. So he's using a variety of voicings. He's using some chromatic motion. He's using good voice leading, and he's using syncopated rhythms. And when you combine all those elements together, you get a really nice aesthetic. So let's look at what he played here. So the last 8 bars, it starts on F minor, and he plays a pickup into the measure. 1, 2, 3. Right, so just 8th notes. And he's outlining the F minor 7 chord. So he's playing an F minor 7 arpeggio starting on the 7th. We have E flat, which is my flat 7, my F, which is my root, A flat, my minor 3rd, and C, my 5th. And then he does a little chromatic sidestep. He goes F minor to E minor, back to F minor. Now, all he's doing is creating motion. He's not going anywhere new. He's just moving back and forth. So if I was playing this, even if I had a bass player playing with me, I wouldn't have to discuss this with the bass player. It's not going to clash, particularly at a medium or up tempo. Maybe at a super slow ballad you might have an issue, but probably not. Okay, so this voicing that I'm using, why am I calling it F minor? Because that's how it's functioning. That's the harmony in the tune. Even though it looks like an A flat major 7, drop 2 in root position, right? A flat, E flat, G, and C. We are going to call this an F minor 9, right? This would be the 3rd, the flat 7, the 9, and the 5th. So F minor 9. Down a half step, back to F minor 9. Okay, in the next measure, in the tune, it would be C7. And he plays a diminished voicing, and it's functioning as a C7 with a flat 9. So I have G, D flat, that's my flat 9, E, it's my 3rd, and B flat is my flat 7. G is the 5th, by the way. And he does the same approach. He moves it down a half step and back up. So you have this continuity of this harmonic idea. Then the third measure comes back to F minor. And here, instead of starting on F minor, he starts a half step below and he plays an E minor and slides into F minor. And this is just a triad. So we have A flat, C, F, and A flat. So this is my minor third, C is my 5th, F is my root, and we have another third on top. And he just came in from a half step below. So far we have okay, so we're at F minor, and he plays one more voicing for F minor. Here we have an F minor 7 in third inversion. So we have E flat in the flat 7, A flat, flat third, C is the 5th, and F is the root. Okay, next measure is B diminished, and he does the same thing where he slides into the B diminished from a half step below. So this diminished shape, F, B, D, and A flat. Now, one of the nice things about diminished is that the diminished scale is symmetrical. So when we look at inversions of the harmony here, we get the same shape repeating in minor thirds. So it's a really nice motion that we can capitalize on. So he slides in from a half step below into that B diminished, and I'm calling it B diminished because it's functioning as a B diminished. And then he slides up a minor third, also B diminished. So these are inversions of themselves. So he slides in to the B diminished. And it may be easier if I call this by the root. I'm going to call this an F diminished. Just know that these are all they're all functioning as B diminished, but I'm going to call it by the root. So you have F diminished, A flat diminished. He comes back to F diminished. Then he comes down to D diminished to B diminished. All right, but these are all functioning as B diminished. When I come down to the 5th string root, I have D, A flat, B, and F, and I come down to B, F, A flat, and D. And then the next section is a 3-6-2-5, like a turnaround. He plays C minor 7, C, B flat, E flat, and G. And instead of going to the 6, he uses a substitute. He goes to B minor to B flat minor. So with a little chromatic passing. We come to E flat 7 sharp 9. We have E flat, G, D flat, and F sharp. My root, major third, flat 7, sharp 9. And then he finishes with an A flat major 7. Right, so just a closed voicing right here. A flat, C, E flat, G, root, third, 5th, major 7. And then there's a 2-bar drum fill, right? So 8 bars of space. He actually only plays six bars and then 2 bars for the drummer. So that whole thing looks like this. up to tempo. Thanks for joining me. I hope you found this information useful. There's a PDF available for my Patreon subscribers of all the information here, and I hope to see you next time. Thanks.